Today's brew, brown ale in a red shed. We talked when we built the recipe about base malt. This is our Bentley base malt. We've got our amber, our biscuit, and our chocolate over here. We're going to be weighing everything out and getting our grist ready to mill. We're going to mill that up, mash it in here, boil it over there. Come along for the ride. That smells good. We need 4 kilograms. Oh, that smells so good. 1.4. 1.5.
We go this far, don't stop now. Reaching for a distant star.
So that happened.
Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe and calm? So that I count in days until the second call. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn this shit around, just start at top of yours. It's all you need to do.
Exactly how much my mill holds. Great. Alright, let's get this done. Well, we're awful close to strike temp now. I want to get the thermometer into this bucket of grain. Do we know what our grain temp is? I'm pretty sure we're right around 16 or 17 degrees, but that'll help us hit our strike temperature a little more closely. And yeah, we can get her into the mash tun here and ready to brew. All right, let's do this. Let's get our asses mashed in here. Do you want to stir or do you want to pour?
I'll pour.
You gonna pour? Tell me if you want more or less.
I don't care.
Like faster or slower.
Well, you don't have to worry about hitting your...
I don't think so. Smells extraordinary. Want 156. There we go. Alright, let's shut that guy. There we go. This is that it's actually got orientation. Sucks. There we go. Good to go.
No latches on it?
Don't need them. It press sits. Alright, there we go. Mash is on. 207.
Just have to extend that down the whole way.
Wouldn't that be nice? How's that smell?
It smells lovely.
I think so. Alright, mash is done. Time to start moving some beer into the kettle. And we're going to open this bad boy up.
fill her up.
That will start to shoot some. Get it on top there. Air moves much faster than beer in this particular case.
So you know what you need to do is build yourself a coupler where you can just splice into that hose and then pump it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the cat's pajamas?
You'd use no work.
That's right. All right, there we go. Now we got that going. All right, let's get some wort filling. Good, that is filling. This is coming. Get some more. That's sticky already, man. So let's take a look at the gravity of the very first pull. And we kind of overshot.
Watch your hose down here so you don't burn it.
Yeah, overshot the mash volume on this a little bit. I'm gonna fingertip it because, you know, that's how I roll. And I lost my fancy tool for doing that. Calibrated earlier, we are at. Wow. 1066.
Ooh, whole new level. Time to brew some Belgian. Have to water that down a bit.
This was supposed to be, excuse me, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 04. And our sparge water appears to be slightly lower in quantity than I expected. So, either my math really sucked, or it will all just magically balance out in a few minutes. New mash tun. First time new mash tun. Your numbers go all to fakakta. So anyway, that's the deal. Figure it out in a minute. I think the other thing that I might have estimated was the amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Grain absorption. I think that might be part of the problem, is that I hadn't quite
It's going to absorb less or
accurately. Well, it's going to absorb a lot. This was 17 pounds of grain. Wow, that's really hot when you stand right in the fire.
more? Yeah. Don't stand in the fire. That's what you stand right in the fire.
Yeah, that's a lot less water in there than I anticipated. A lot less water.
A little quicker.
Yeah, but it's only like here. I used up way more water than I expected it to. Oh well, whatever. There you go, Brew Day discoveries. The new table lifts the kettle too high to drain by gravity out of the mash tun, so we had to move the kettle back to the ground. Which I don't like, but I'll take it for now. We'll find a solution to that problem. Give myself a little breathing room so I don't burn myself again.
Hey Luke, where are you?
Burnt myself already. Don't need to do it again. Thank you very much.
Still green? Oh.
Well,
That's
we'll
5
see.
gallons in there already, buddy.
We'll see.
I think you'll probably hit 12.
16 pounds of grain too.
I think you're going to hit 12. Would you figure you put 15? It's going to absorb probably
At least
2.5 to 3.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hit. Yeah, we might hit 12. I'd like to think we're gonna hit 12. That would be okay. That would feel like I'm less stupid.
Winning. Should really put the lid on that so we don't lose all your.
So by the numbers, we're a little short. We hit 10 gallons on that. Underestimated HLT volume and definitely underestimated the capacity of that. So we're going to do a little check here on gravity. Let's see if it's possible. This would be like so cool. There you go, we're at 1.048. A little tricky to spot through there, but you get the idea. There you go. So we're going to have to top up to get to the gravity we want. Homebrew tradition, little of the last one goes into the next one. Cheers. There we go. The final beer will be excellent. Framing.
Phrasing or framing?
Framing.
Are we not doing framing anymore?
Yeah, we're still doing framing. Not doing phrasing, but we're doing framing.
This is how we deal with our spent grains.
Yeah, just avoid the beat up old desk. All right.
The new mash tun has wheels, makes this job a lot
I probably
easier.
could have just left that part in the garage.
Yeah, you could have.
Bring that out here.
Lightened up your load a bit. Should have brought the paddle too. Paddle.
There we go. And the grain, we just dump into the composter. There you go, not bad.
Bob's your uncle. I'm recording. Yep.
You see the really dark stuff here?
Oh, yeah.
It's from the last batch. A couple weeks ago, so it's
live
already
worms in
started.
there?
What's that?
Got some live worms in there. In a bait shop. And we got,
The bottom's fairly open now after 10 years.
just climb right up there and live in.
But yeah, this... I'm gonna have to probably dig out the bottom of this
Yeah. Get a shovel and
in the next year or so.
ton shoveler.
So we missed our numbers like by like a mile and a half. This came out almost 9 points higher than it was supposed to. A couple of things that sort of contributed to that. Number one, new hot liquor tank, or rather new mash tun, and not having my profile set up in Beersmith right. That kind of messed me up. I think I also am getting a little higher efficiency than I have Beersmith set up for, so the numbers definitely came out higher. So in terms of a London ale, at 3.6%, not going to happen. This is going to be a 4.5 or a 5% beer. On the upside, it's still going to be a great brown, because the platform, the base of those grains, that mixture is going to be really, really tasty. So we're going to let this thing boil up. We're going to share the hopping and some of that process for you. And after we ferment, well, then we're going to drink it. Now, we've been really hot on this red shed malt, and that malt is probably a good portion of the reason we overshot our numbers, because I think this grain converted certainly better than I could have calculated. Here's really the most incredible thing. This bag right here of base malt from Red Shed. The tag on it is this. Now the tag on it says 0817 Bentley, May 31st, 2017. That was the date it was malted. Hamel Farms, 2016, so we know what farm it came from. But we also know what piece of land it came from. This gives us a level of grain to glass, indeed grain to glass, that you're not going to see very often.
So I went from 9 till 12, and then it was like fucking 3 in the morning, 4 days, and I still wasn't getting it. So I reverted the lab.
Smells good. Smells good.
That's what I told him Red Shed. I says it smells good. We haven't even had it home today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's smelling pretty exceptional. Oh,
East Kent. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, that's
East
classic.
Kent and tradition.
Oh, sorry.
So things are moving. I think the boil is about to start. Oh, it smells fantastic. I think this is going to be really good. Bubbles are coming up everywhere. I think that's officially when the boil starts, isn't it?
Yep. Bubbles.
Let's give it 2 turns. I haven't seen a break though, and that's what I gotta. I mean, granted, the firm cap will help take care of that. Oh yeah, there's the break. There's the break. You can see it stacking up on that one side. There's the advantage of firm cap. You can get all that break to basically chunk up and get out of your way and not boil over, which is wonderful. I think one of the key points about building a beer like this, building the recipe right from scratch and then putting it together, sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen and you don't know where your equipment is, and it's a good opportunity to learn the limits of your equipment and learn the limits of your brewing ability, as well as finding some process changes that can make your life a little easier in the brewery. So, you know, even though we didn't hit our expected gravity and all of those things, it doesn't matter. The beer is still going to be good, and you know, getting the grain to do what it's supposed to do is always a refreshing and sort of a rewarding thing. So we'll see how this goes, but I know it's going to taste good when we get to the end. So we just have to make some tweaks to the recipe and to our equipment, and we'll brew it again someday, and we'll see what that looks like later.
Hey,
All right, 45 minutes. So we're doing a little East Kent Golding action. Well, you're not supposed to snort it.
So we're doing,
you can if you want.
East Kent Goldings.
We're going to do a line of East Kent Goldings. Hopefully the firm cap will keep it from boiling over.
All right, let's find out.
Rock and roll, man. Let's get the hops in here.
British porter.
Nice, simple,
ale.
nice London brown. Whoa!
Uh-oh. It's not like Alberta stand.
Oh yeah, firm cap. That's what I'm talking about.
So were they really East Kent Goldings? Because there's two labels on them.
They were. I'm pretty sure they were. Maybe they're Citra. I don't know, but they're in the boil now. Oh yeah, that's how we're talking. Looking good, looking good. 45 minutes. So next edition is at 15, and at 15 we're going to add those German tradition or Hallertau tradition Hallertau. They're a variant of the they're a variant of Hallertau, more like a middle frost, so they're a little more floral and herbal. So we've got our EKG for that earthy base, and then we're going to get that tradition in there at 15 minutes. And then we're going to start doing some whirlpooling and get this sucker chilled. A few more steps. My phone turned off. How many minutes?
It was 26 when I last checked.
16 minutes and 52 seconds. A minute and a half.
So my concept of time.
Minute and a half for our next hop edition. And then at 2 minutes, we're going to hit it with the World Flock Irish Moss. Kill it. Get the chiller in. All that stuff.
Dagga,
I came up with it last night, man.
pull off the internet?
No, this is straight out of my brain. Right out of my brain. That's where this recipe came from.
Well, used to small kids to do faster.
No, the idea behind a recipe, to me, is get a feel for what you want. Take a look at what the style calls for. Make adjustments that fit your taste. Brew it, and then see what you change.
ABV. We're good. I'll do that.
Nothing is written in stone. And any recipe you find is just one interpretation. Truthfully, beer is an exercise in terroir anyway. 15 minutes, you ready on the second hop? Top cup. Top cup. I put all my hops in separate cups and then stack them in order.
It's like Back to the
15
Future
minutes.
when they put the colored logs in the engine.
Boom. Exactly.
This is how you do it.
There you go. That was our tradition. Oh, it smells really good, man. Got that earthiness. It's not all fruity and... Yeah.
Yeah. Egga, shagga,
Still really malt forward. I think this is going to be fantastic.
What are we down to volume? We started at 12
We're
and a half?
down to 11, just about 12 and a half. It's going to be
Nailed
just
it.
about spot on
Nailed it.
at 11 and a half. And 11 and a half, the reason I target 11 and a half is 11 and a half gives us enough volume for both fermenters to split it into two batches. And, hey, I'm talking. Shh, recording. We're shooting for 11 and a half, and the reason I do that, 11 and a half to 12, is because it gives us enough volume for both fermenters, and it allows us to have a little bit left in the kettle where the trub is, so that what we get into the fermenters is as clean as it can be. And we're right on target, so after the top up. And
What do you think the final gravity is going to be?
Probably going to be 053. That's my guess. 053, 054.
054 is what I'm thinking is going to happen.
We've come down about a gallon so far. So we'll see.
Time will tell. All things are possible.
Oh, it smells really good. All right, we got about 10 minutes left in the boil, so I'm going to get the chiller, which is gross and disgusting and dirty, but doesn't matter because it's about to get boiled, into the beer. One end of this is our outflow, one end of this is the hose that's coming in. Now I'm going to put the outflow directly into this here bucket because I want to sort of keep this hot water that comes out of the chiller, and I want to use that. There's no point in not using it, so let's use it for cleaning. That's going to be good to go. And then the last thing to do is going to be to get our whirlpool hose into place and clamped on to the side of the kettle. It's going to get clamped on right here. Now the reason for this guy, as you can see, angled out, reason for this guy is to spin that wort down inside so that we get a nice consistent chilling and get all of our hops piled up right in the middle, which is where they need to be. And this, I think, is probably the single most valuable reason for putting a pump system onto your boil kettle or into your beer making regimen, because the advantage of not having all of that crap in your beer is pretty amazing. That's it. We're good. We're good until whirlflock time. So we got another 5 minutes. That took 60 seconds to get a chiller set up and running, and all of the pumps ready to go.
Okay, we are recording.
We're recording. All right, pardon the quality. Camera battery died. Lance is taking over with the cell phone. 2.5 minutes left. We're going to get our findings in there. Irish moss, whirlflock, a
wee bit of findings.
Just to make sure it's in good shape. That's the rest of the findings. That's all of the ingredients. We've got the whirlpool set up on the pump. We've got the output of the pump, drive it into the input of the pump, and then whirlpooling. So when we start to chill, we should be able to watch the temperature drop like a rock, which is great. And then all that's left is aerate it once we get it into the fermenters. We'll show you how that works with the fancy little air pump from of Doom here. And that's it. And along the way, I'm going to have a carrot and some broccoli.
And a malt smoothie.
And a malt smoothie.
And to the selfie cam now.
To the selfie cam. Cheers. Hey, Red Shed, how you doing? Okay, when it gets to now, let's start recording.
How about now?
How about now? What do you...
Malt smoothie.
Yeah, malt smoothie's right here. This is the malt smoothie. This is the...
smoothie?
Yeah, this is the beer that has 1 grain.
This is an amazing
beer.
beer.
That's it.
Hail
two row.
Hail 2 row. 16 seconds.
All right, let's turn off the heat.
Yeah, stand the heat. Get out of the garage.
Yeah. Bye, Dottie. Have fun.
Bye.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it because 30 seconds matters. There it is. And it's off. So there's the end of the boil. Now we chill.
Chilling time.
Chilling time.
Stop chilling time.
Chilling time. Do, 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 do. And chills on. I want to get this water going through here nice and slow. See, that's the way to do it. Nice and slow. What show is that from, Lance?
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow. See, that's the way to do it.
Oh,
nice
Twin
and...
Peaks. Nice.
No.
No.
Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Yeah, 88 Fingers Louie.
Oh, 88 Fingers Louie, yeah.
So here we go.
That's like Lola Brigida. Hola, Lola Brigida. You flippin' a ma wigida.
Ice water going in.
Ice,
Hot.
ice,
Blazes
baby.
Coming out, man.
Ice,
That
ice,
is
baby.
hot. All right. So the chiller is now running. Temperature's going to start dropping pretty quick. Let's get the whirlpool. Have fun.
No, I think we need to call it Sharknado.
Sharknado?
Or Hopnado. Do 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 do. Lola Brigada, you flip my wigada.
All right, chill's on. So we've got the chiller going. We've already started to drop. Yeah, she's coming down. All right.
Oh yes, let's start.
Now the magic. We're going to open the pump. We're going to drop some liquid down. Or we're going to rather drop some
Prime the
liquid
pump.
down. Prime the pump. And you get some. There's some hot beer coming down.
Goodness.
All right. You can see the air bubbles
That's awesome, dude.
coming up as a result of
This
that
is new.
effort. Now the most important part, which is
Do you want to stop for a sec? Till
No,
the car
man.
gets out of shot? We're
Here we
gonna go. Okay, we're doing it like real
we're
home
firing
brewers.
this sucker up. It is full on time.
Stop. It's pumping time.
Come on, get your way through there. Make your way through there.
Earn your pay.
Earn your pay. And there we go.
Oh.
Whirlpool is on.
We have achieved Hopnado.
Now, watch the top. Now, we have also got it going full crack still, so we're not going to go full crack for the whole chill.
Hopnado.
We're going to bring her down.
We're not calling it Whirlpool anymore. It's Hopnado.
Hopnado. Sorry, Hopnado. So what we've got is we've got the output of the pump driving in a circle, keeping that wort moving around. We've got the output here cracked open. So through the process of chilling, we're going to constantly be moving hot wort through that coil. It's going to bring the temperature down faster, and it's going to let that cold break form a little quicker. We are down already almost to 200 degrees. So we've actually, oh wait, we're at 190. We've come down almost 20 degrees in about a minute and a half. Now we're going to actually open this valve. This water in here is freaking hot.
Yeah, that's what you use for cleaning up
That's
Labatt's.
the cleanup water right there. I'm going to just open this valve up a little bit more. As long as this output is hot, I'm good.
Oh, you're pinched up here, buddy.
Oh yeah, it's okay. That don't matter. That don't
Ain't no
matter.
thing.
That ain't no thing. No thing. The pressure will keep it flowing through there, even if it gets pinched a little bit.
Under
and
pressure.
really, what I want to do is I want to have less than
Sorry,
maybe
camera guy's thirsty.
less than 10 or 15 gallons total use.
Oh, really?
I don't
Shake
have
it,
a beer.
shake it, dig it.
I don't have a beer.
Shake it, dig it, dig it.
Shake it, dig it, dig it.
Shake it, and then we get thrown out of
There we go. Then
Czechoslovakia.
we get tossed out of Czechoslovakia like the invaders.
Or is it Hungary? I don't know. The same thing.
Whatever.
Shake it, dig it, dig it.
Oh, excuse me. The big advantage of using pump systems is that when you've got an input, you've got an output. So once this is done whirlpooling and everything is chilled to where we want it to be to go in the fermenter, the whirlpool arm is just going to simply get pulled out of here and will go into the neck of the fermenter.
Into my fermenter pump.
We'll just
And
get
fill it.
tossed into the fermenter.
Oh, we have spillage.
Oh, there we go. We finally hit the top of that. We've already dropped over 45,
This water
50
is
degrees.
really goddamn hot. Labatt's, you use that to clean your toilets?
Yeah, if you were
fermenter.
Labatt's, you would be all excited about the fact that you just came up with
You
a
just
new
made hot
way to
water.
clean.
Yeah.
So that's our cleaning water. And now I'm going to actually I'm going to cut back on the pressure a little bit here
More contact time?
to give a little bit more contact time
Where are we at for
to the
temperature?
beer. That'll help pull a little extra.
So you're trying to get to 75 degrees?
We want to get down to, I don't know how cold our water is right now here, but needless to say, we've come
Still
down
pretty
35
warm.
degrees in about 2.5 minutes.
That's pretty awesome.
That 5 gallons is more than I would typically use, but like I said, I wanted the hot for cleaning. I turned down that temperature, so there's more hot getting sucked into the less cold now. So anyway, but yeah, the whirlpool that's currently stacking all of those hops we
That
had
is
in
pretty
the
cool.
middle
That's something new.
with
We haven't
the
done
cold
before.
break
The pump, that adds to it.
will become the filling tube for the fermenters when we're ready to fill our fermenters. And it is already sterile because it's in boiling. Pretty still now. Still got a little bit spinning around, but we're gonna pull the chiller out here pretty quick. Down to 25 degrees or so. We're not gonna get much lower now. Basically we'll pull the chiller out and we'll let the whirlpool just sort of go all by itself without the chiller in the water. There we go. And that chiller is now stopped. We'll pull her out of the water. And straight into that cleaning bucket we talked about. Alright. And then we can take it off of there in just a couple of minutes. Chiller's good to go. And now we're just going to let this whirlpool settle the hops down. And once that's done, we can start pumping it into the fermenter. So we've taken the chiller out of the beer. We let the whirlpool run for a couple more minutes. We just slowed it down. We're like 25 degrees Celsius now. The water temperature is high enough that that's not going to get any better. So at this point, we're just letting the whirlpool settle a little bit. We're going to let that cone of hops and debris and stuff sit, the trub sit in the bottom, and then, I don't know, in like another minute or two, we're going to pull it out. We're going to fill these fermenters, and then it'll be time to aerate and pitch some yeast. All right, time to start filling. One more good shake. Let's get that star scent all over in there. Make lots of foam. Oh, well done, well done.
And now we get to dump the foam.
Yeah.
Don't tear the foam. Do you want to put it back in your thing?
No, that one's PBW. No, this is star sand. That's PBW. And
Don't fear the foam.
don't fear the foam. I don't know what it's like on car paint, but it should be okay.
Acidic.
All right.
Ziggy ziggy.
All right. Now you can use the.
And now I'll turn the angle shot for you.
You can use the
That's how we can roll.
whirlpool arm here. This is how we are going to fill the fermenter. And I don't even think we need to turn on the pump, we're just using it as a pass-through here. We're just going to fill the fermenter up and let her rock. I mean, I could turn on the pump. Certainly isn't going to hurt to turn on the pump, but I think that's looking pretty clear, man.
Gravity is your friend.
Let's get up above the foam here.
Don't fear the foam.
Don't fear the foam. But from what I'm seeing out the side, that is looking like awfully off. And at this point, we're cool already, so I'm not worried about oxygen getting in here. In fact, I want oxygen in here, which is why we're going to hook up our aerator in a minute. Oxygen at this point is your friend. It's just food for yeast. They're going to need it, so the more we can give them to do their job effectively, the better. And
Should actually raise that up somehow.
well, I mean, I've got to be down low because of the gravity feed thing, but we're good for the moment. If basically what'll happen is at some point it'll be too low and then I'll have to turn on the pump anyway. So,
Yep.
So that's a gallon already. Actually, it's a gallon and a half already. Oh, that is looking super clear. Super clear. And I'm taking the crappy stuff at the bottom.
I noticed. Thank you for
You're welcome.
taking the first one.
I'll take the first
It's
shite.
your friend.
That's right.
More flavor. Flavor.
Flavor.
Flavor.
Flavor. Don't. Let's not go Flavor Flav. That guy kind of creeps me out a little bit.
The
Just
fact that he
saying.
was with Sylvester Stallone's wife, yes.
I just, there are a lot of things about Flavor Flav that kind of creep me out a little bit. That's just one of them. All right. Let's punch your lid, and then I'll balance them up afterwards. We know you've got a full crack in yours.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Make your floor see. Oh, look at that.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got this down to
like a champ.
I've got this down to a pseudoscience.
Like a
This
champ.
is a pseudoscience. And away we go. Now this one, I don't know how close to full that is, but I'm willing to put a cap on it right now.
Let's see, grab your cap here.
Yeah, make sure you get your dirty fingers all over that Star Sand cap.
The dirty brown finger.
Dirty. There. Now we can see the
You
volume.
can see the volumes.
Volumes.
I
Got
wanna
to see
if
the
we
volumes.
To see if we can see brains.
How we doing? We got 5 gallons still in
That's
here.
pretty awesome, dude.
All right, so now we get down into the hop cone, and I think that's it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. that's the end of the beer. Look at the hop cone that formed in there. We got lots of clean beer into the fermenter. Hey, man.
Hey,
I would, whoa.
we're done.
I would say we just nailed that sucker, eh?
We're done.
We're done.
Like dinner.
All right, we are down to 2 full fermenters ready to ferment. Well, not quite. One last step. We're going to aerate these guys and make sure that those yeast have lots of oxygen to work with. But here's the last step of this process. Dry hands, power cord's good. I'm going to unplug my pump because we're not going to be using the pump until it's time to clean it. And I'm just going to pump some PDW through it in a moment. But first, we need to get some oxygen into this beer before we let the yeast go to work. Since the Ranger is going to be on the road in a few minutes, we're going to set up a pump system that I've got put together here. Yeah, you can just plug it right in.
Sanitize it first.
Well, yeah, I'll do that part. So again, sanitization is key. So making sure that there is nothing that can get into the beer. Normally I would soak this hose in Star San, but because we were not thinking when we emptied fermenters, I didn't set it to soak. But Star San will take care of that for me, no problem. I'm going to set this directly into the beer. Just like that. Dry hands. And we are going to aerate the crap out of this until the foam starts to come out the top of the container. Oh yeah!
Beer snake.
It's a beer snake, that's right. There's a little over 40 seconds worth. Now, I will wait for this to go down before I add my yeast. I'll wait for that foam to just sort of die down into the glass, or into the container. And now we're going to fire up the bucket, and we're going to give that a good head of foam for the ride back up to the Ranger's place. Oh, yours is going to get a good dose.
Plus
You got lots of extra room in the bucket.
Plus I have a Jeep, so
Well, that too.
the ride home will aerate it up.
But what this does is this is exposing lots of air to that work before we get the yeast in there. Yeast are going to have a ton of oxygen, a ton of sugar, and they're going to be able to go to work right away. So in the land of home brewing, the basement is usually the place where people end up fermenting. And I'm no different. I'm down here next to my crappily put together pantry shelves. The beer has been fermenting now for 5 days. I ended up pitching SO4, which is an English ale yeast, because I didn't have any Nottingham. But that's okay. About the same flavor profile. So I'm going to show you the beer. And we'll see you in about a week once this is in a keg and ready to drink.